Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Lessons with Louis. Today I'm joined by the fantastic Joshua Ford. Josh is a great friend of mine. Myself and Josh met in the National Performing Arts School, and Josh is an 18-year-old Leaving Cert student, makeup artist and young LGBT person in Ireland today.
Wait, are you a man or a woman? I'm like, well, does the name Joshua not give it away?
And on the show we talk about Josh feeling older than his age, finding out he was gay, surviving school when teachers would turn a blind eye to bullying, being threatened and finding your own family, starting the makeup course he did, being a jack of all trade, and toxic masculinity. Now, myself and Josh had a great chat. It's so much fun. And Josh, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I just think it's mad. I was thinking today, we know each other 8 years.
8 years? Has it been that long?
I think around 8 years, yes.
Oh my gosh, and I'm only 6.
Well, myself and Josh met at the National Performing Arts School, where
Sure did.
I've met a lot of my guests. So plenty of different walks of life, different people in the National Performing Arts School that are amazing and have inspired me throughout my life. And Josh, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing, I've got my good geesh on, I've got my nails, hair, lashes dead. I am feeling the fantasy.
Feeling the fantasy. Josh, I'm just going to adjust our sound level there a little bit.
Yeah, am I being too loud?
No, well, you're just projecting like you learned in drama
sorry.
class, so it's amazing. Never apologise for projecting.
I'm mixed race, so it comes naturally.
Well, Josh, tell us a little bit about you. What do you do?
I am, what do I work as and stuff?
What do you work as?
Well, I'm a makeup artist and I went to college in Temple Bar with the makeup crew, and then one of my bosses, well, my old bosses I think now, but one of my bosses at the time really liked me, and she was teaching me throughout my course. And then she actually referred me or recommended me to her business partner, and then I started working for my college. So that's how I became a working makeup artist. All of a sudden, with my mom who works in Mac as well. So 2 makeup artists in the family. But I haven't been in work. I've been training now. Because with makeup, it's kind of slower, because I know the bosses have split and everything, and they're when people look for the makeup crew or the makeup bar, they can't find it, but it's now number 13 Beauty House, and we do everything. We do lashes, we do nails, we do hair, we do lip fillers, we do everything.
Oh my goodness, Josh, and how did you get into makeup?
Well, I think I got into makeup when I was 12, and when I was 12, that's when I was exploring my identity, my sexuality, my gender, and I was just playing around with makeup, kind of covering all what lies beneath, and I was just playing with my grand's makeup and just putting it on, and then all of a sudden I started watching hours and hours of YouTube tutorials and stuff, and got fascinated with the beauty of colour and lashes and the dramatics and everything. And then ever since watching Drag Race, of course, so then I really wanted to get into it, and I did, and then I went on to my course, and then that's just how it happened. Really happened really quickly, I think.
You mentioned Drag Race, so for people out there, what is Drag Race?
Drag Race is it's basically, to anybody who does not know it at all, it's like an X Factor or America's Next Top model, but with drag queens. And they're competing for the title of America's Next Drag Superstar and $100,000. And it's just a really inspirational, really kind of eye-opening TV show. It's not just a competition reality TV show. It's so much more than that, and it really taught me a lot about gay culture, and about transgender folks and gay folks and lesbians, all of that, I think. And that's so important. And as well, the number one thing why I love it so much is because now it's a mainstream thing, and now it's on Netflix, and it's really opening people's eyes, and it's really we now are in a fabulous generation where, you know, I can go out looking the way I do.
And how do you look today? Tell us your outfit for people
Well,
at home.
I mean, I'm just a lovely Christian lady with just a flowery dress. No, I have a see-through top on with leather trousers that I am sweating in profusely.
The window's open, I'm trying to...
No, that's just me, I just do that. And yeah, and then I have my pride makeup on, and yeah. Like,
so what's your pride makeup? Try to describe it for the people at home.
it's a rainbow eye look, kind of like an angular rainbow eye look, with lashes, of course. And as well, recently I've also shaved half my eyebrows off so I could create like a more bigger eye shape. So like my eyes are probably like half of my like head at the moment because they're so big, because I obviously manipulated them to be that way. So
it looks fantastic.
thank you. I do try.
You talked about gay culture. Could you tell us a little bit about what gay culture is?
Pardon me. Gay culture, I think, well, gay culture is just like, it's used to be seen as very like underground and very mysterious. Like, very mysterious. Like, I think like growing up, like you would never really hear like what even gays would do. They were just kind of weird aliens. Like even when I was like 10, younger, like if you were called gay, it was basically like a derogatory term, like a retard, or like all these like nasty
horrible
names.
things.
Horrible things. And gay culture is like just, well, I think it's just normal culture, but just gay, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fabulous, and it's just liberating, and, you know, equality, like, and just freeing, you know? It's a good time as well. Like, the music's great too.
Yeah.
YMCA all the way.
And Josh, obviously, growing up gay and wearing makeup as a boy might not be considered the norm, quote unquote, whatever the norm is. I don't believe there's a norm. Anyway, how did you realise, or when did you realise that you are gay?
Well, I think, that's going way back. Well, when I realised I was gay, probably when I started watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. No. I think I started like liking boys when I was very young. See, growing up, I always felt like that I was more I was the kid who can understand things, or like who saw things better than other kids. And I know that sounds really kind of like, you know,
I'm intelligent.
Yeah, but not, it's just like, it's more like a maturity level, because I always felt older than my age, you know? And so I started liking boys around like 5th class, 6th class, like 5th class, even 4th, maybe even earlier than that. But
it was the first day you saw me.
Yeah, just sexuality changed straight away. Oh my goodness. It's never been the same. I'm like gold star gay after meeting Louis. And then like I came out as bi first, and because I thought that would have been way easier. It's more kind of an easier transition.
And what age did you come out?
12. But it's funny, because even when I talk to my parents about coming out today, like they're like, well, you were never really, like, you were never in. There was never a closet with you. You were always like... Yeah,
and was that an overwhelming idea? At 12?
Yeah, it was, but like, I don't know. Like, I just felt like I just wanted to start becoming myself, you know? I didn't... Like, I felt like I was just pulled in like awkward different directions that I didn't want to go to. Like, people weren't really understanding me. And even now, people still kind of don't understand my style and like what I want to kind of express and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that was just the start of it. And once I started watching RuPaul's Drag Race, like, it's kind of like opened my eyes up hugely, and it's made me fully blossomed into you know, this gender thing, Pennywise it.
And at the time of coming out, what were some people's reactions, maybe in school or in other places?
Well, actually, it's funny that you say that, because with my family, like, they're all very accepting. Like, even like my great grandmother was very accepting of gay people, like, and that's huge coming from, you know, her generation. But in school, in first year, I remember, like, my mom was telling me, okay, Josh, like, don't, like, just come out right way. But after like 5 days, like, I remember, because I was trying to keep a low profile, and I didn't want to be like the Joan of Arc, basically.
Are you going to say the Jonas Brothers?
The Jonas Brothers. I didn't want to be the Jonas, especially Kevin. Especially.
No, we love you, Kevin.
Yeah, no shade, Kevin. But yeah, I didn't want to be the Jonas Brothers. But like, after, on the 5th day, there was like people, like my friends and this other guy who is just, I don't even like think about. They were like basically forcing me to come out because it was so obvious and stuff like that. And they were like, are you gay? Are you gay? And I was like, no. And they were like, well, are you bisexual or something? And I was like, okay, yeah. And then as soon as I said yes, like, all the school knew who I was, and half of them had already made up their minds on me before even meeting me or getting to know me. And I think, like, how I reacted to that was I just became even like gayer and then more outrageous, kind of just more like a jokester and stuff, so they wouldn't kind of so they'd find me funny, not like, you know, like weird, and like, I don't know, I just tried to be strategic about it. But
and how did that feel, being outcast and being treated differently than everyone else?
It feels really like alienating, and kind of like, you know, you feel like you're on like Survivor or something, or, you know, like you're trying to literally just survive through school. Like, you just wanted to go by and just be a breeze. Like, school's already difficult enough with like studies and stuff like that, let alone having to find out like your identity and your sexuality and stuff like that. But then after a while I was just like, F it. And then I came in with like ruby red nails, glittery nails, the next again week and stuff like that. And even though people were making fun of me, I just kind of learned to,
and
you know.
How did the school help you with this?
Well, I don't think my school has a very, like, my old school, not my new school, because I had to move schools. My old school were very, like, they didn't know their bullying policy, I didn't think. And it wasn't like people would like call me like a fag and everything like that in front of the teachers and stuff. And I remember on the first day, like, somebody, like, I was just sitting down and like I kind of was dozing off as I do, and then somebody took my bag and I was looking for it, and I was even late for my very first class. And then after that class, I had come back, and in the canteen there was just like my bag and my books like thrown all over like the canteen and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, well, welcome to the jungle, I suppose.
And did anyone do anything about that?
No, especially like with my friends, they were all like, you know, well, you can kind of stand up for yourself, because I'm a very kind of outspoken person anyways. But that was kind of hard to hear, because, like, you know, I still thought that they could have at least said something. Like, they were standing there literally watching me getting verbally abused by these.
And your items being taken, and you're 13 years old this time, 12, 13.
Like coming out of primary school, which was great for me, and like secondary school.
And teachers just turned a blind eye and did nothing. And
a lot of them did.
Was there anyone that, you know, had a chat with you or tried to help you out?
Well, I was always me trying to like get their attention and trying to make it like them see the importance and the struggle of, like, you know, of it. And I remember writing like a letter and stuff like that of all the experiences and like even the dates and everything of what this particular guy was saying, because I was in his neighborhood or something on Halloween and I had makeup on, and And the next again day, he was like, "Oh, if I ever see you around there again, like I'll smash your face in." And he was throwing like sharp objects across the room at me and stuff like that. And like I just wrote a letter and stuff like that, kind of like gathering all the information that I could. So I was like coming across as being genuine about it. And I gave it to my year head, and she was like, "All right, I'll talk to the vice principal about it." And then they never got back to me on how they dealt with that situation. That was one of the earliest.
And did he stop picking on you after this was all?
He for a while he was just kind of like, you know, pretending I didn't exist, but then like he started again like slowly after and stuff. But you know, I think that guy is very kind of damaged within himself. So I kind of like, I'm, you know, big and bold enough to understand that not everybody like has it easy, and hurt people, you know. So
your empathy is amazing.
Oh well, thank you. I think I'm just in a good mood, to be honest. Like I could be in the next 5 minutes, I'm a Gemini, so I go from one to the other. In the next 5 minutes I could be like, well actually I hope he dies. Oh no. But I don't mean that. That. It's just a joke.
And then going on, so that was first year, going on through school, did it get easier, or what happened the further we go?
Well, was it second year? Yeah, second year was quite bad. I had like this thing happened with my friends and all that. That like I had to, you know, like it was like a legal issue, and I was like falsely accused of something, but it was so like I was guilty before proven innocent, and I had done nothing. I had done nothing wrong, you know, and like I wasn't even told like who said it, who was, because they were just telling me like, oh, these people have all been saying this about you and stuff like that. And you know, I had to take like 3 months off school, and it was the first time I had to take like a Xanax and stuff like that. I had to be prescribed with them, and you know, that's when like my anxiety like started, and it was a very rough time as well, because we were also looking after my great grandmother with Alzheimer's, and you know, balancing the two was just very, very difficult.
So people started making up lies about you, and then you had to...
The guys especially would make up rumours that I was secretly straight. So you know, I'd hang around with the girls just to, you know, get with the girls.
And they probably didn't even know how to speak to a girl.
Literally, like they were just jealous that all my friends were girls, and you know, but like that's just like,
that's being young and foolish. And it's I said this a lot in the podcast, it's easier for someone else to be the quote unquote weird one when you're not.
Yeah. But I just I don't know, like I think when I was younger, like I just didn't like expect the world to be like that. Like I was very naive to how people would treat me and stuff. Like I had known that like people would probably say like things like maybe like every now and again, but it literally got to the stage where I was like, you know, like I would be in a negative headspace for the whole year until the summer, and then like I would dread going back into school. And like that. And
was how did you difficult. Deal with that negative headspace? What did you do, or were you just in a rut, or was there anything? I was just in a
rut, I think, because it was like, you know, wake up, go to school, kind of just rough it out, like be friends with people who aren't really your friends, like who exclude you. Like even my friends would be like bullying in some type of way, I think. And like I got like very defensive back at people, and I think it's also kind of discrimination as well, like with like my skin color even, and I'm not even that dark, but like people would be like they like if I was to get snappy back, like if I was to kind of come back at people after they had attacked me, like it would be a total different situation. Like everybody would be picking on me, and nobody would invite me to anything, and you know, I didn't understand why they would do that. Like eventually, like I got so sick of them like excluding me from things that I just accepted it, and I just, you know, it is what it was. And
So you are, I don't know, racially discriminated as well as
I
on
think
your sexuality?
subtly, because racism, surprisingly to me anyways, is still around. It's still present even after, like, you know, we've come such a long way. I think it's still present, but it's very like hidden in the background and subtly and stuff like that. Like, you know, I think with a lot of some, even the white guys would be coming up to me and feel free to say the N-word and stuff, like, because they just think that I'm just totally cool with that from the get-go, but I don't even know them, you know. So that was just, you know,
And how did that make you feel?
It does kind of it does get you down. It definitely does get you down. But I think with watching Drag Race, and then I've met like some, like, I have like two really close friends and stuff like that, and like I met one friend who was like pansexual as well, and you know, we kind of like connected on so many levels. And but yeah, with watching Drag Race, of course, and with my family support, I think I got through it. But like, and I think as well also with me as well, because I'm like, even though like I can be in bed for days and I don't want to get up, I don't want to like, you know, like shower or anything, like, because I'm just so like depressed over what's happened, like I still have hopes and dreams, and I still know that I have a brighter future. So I just like look to the light at the end of the tunnel in that type of sense. But
How did all this affect your studies?
Oh, it was like in my old school, I was failing everything. Like I was just like, the only thing I was good at was like the music and stuff like that, and art. Really, those were the only things I was kind of appreciated for. And as well, being a special needs child, I wasn't getting enough help, even though me and my mum were like fighting for like SNAs and help, and I'm entitled to an SNA. But
And tell us a little bit more about that.
about my special needs.
Yes.
Well, I have a mild form of autism, and I think it only affects me in like certain like ways and stuff. But with school, like I'm not the best academically. Like I do need help, because I think I need help to focus, and I need help to like just with some of my stuff, you know, like I need kind of guidance, and with the right guidance, like I can get far. But there was another guy in my class who was more physically, you know, demanding, special needs, and he got all the attention, but I was kind of just really, you know, if there was an SNA who was like just very good at the things like I struggled in, then I would be lucky in getting that SNA, and they changed every week.
Yeah, okay, so that's complex and hard to build a relationship. But
yeah.
What was your escape from all this? Did you have anyone you went to that you were just me?
Definitely, of course, I can't believe I didn't even mention this. With MPAS as well, that was a huge support, because I think you guys like had really brought out my confidence, and had really kind of you know, made me feel comfortable, and you know, everyone was just so like excited to see everybody, and you know, wanting to hear about each other's days and stuff. And with the like the classes, and then the shows and everything, like I think that as well brought out my character. So of course, like that was like, NPS was really my second family, of course, by far. And they definitely helped me throughout that like horrible time of my life, I think.
Isn't that amazing that you just go to a different school, but it's a school you choose to go to?
Yeah.
And no one cares what you're wearing. Well, they care in a positive way, but no one's judging you for what you're wearing, the way you look, who you want to kiss, what religion you are, where you're from, and you're just allowed to be who you want to be.
Yeah, if you're different, they love it. You know what I mean? It's like you've got like, it's like an added bonus. you know? And I just, like, I have everyone to thank in NPAS, like, even you know, like, everybody who just kind of saw, I think NPS were the first crowd of people to see me as, like a human, not a person who wears makeup and who's flamboyant or gay, because a lot of people just see me as just like gay, or
But put you in a box.
yeah, put me in a box. They don't see me as like a person, if that makes sense. But I suppose you can't really see anybody's personality or
go up and talk to them, and then you'll learn. Like, fed up with people judging everyone by a cover.
Yeah. I mean, even now it's hard to do that these days, but you just have to really drill that into your head to try and get to know somebody first.
Exactly. And then take me along your journey. Then your junior cert year, how was that? Did it get better in terms of acceptance, or?
Well, I think that year got worse with teachers, because I felt like teachers were kind of bringing me down with my studies, because I just don't get things that fast. You know, even though I was in the honours class, I was put there because one of the other guy with special needs was in there as well, and we both needed an SNA. And like, I think, like, I'm great at English and stuff like that, and I think my English got me to the honours class. But anyways, yeah, no, with teachers, they would kind of bring me down because I wasn't that quick. And with my folks, like my friends and all that, like, they would they were still excluding me, and the exclusions got worse, and I had come back from school, and, you know, like, of course at the time I couldn't really tell people why, because it was kind of a big issue and stuff, but and I didn't want everybody knowing and stuff, but yeah, I think, like, I would ask my parents, like, I was just like, I want to leave, like, eventually, I just want to get out, like, this is not my tribe, this is not what I want to do and stuff. But they were like, well, no, just kind of like go through this year, maybe go through the next year, and, you know, see how it happens. And with fourth year, like, I think I did well in my junior cert, but with fourth year, that's when I went into my makeup course and everything, and I started focusing on that side of my creativity.
And was that full time?
It was every like Monday with the makeup course, and for 14 weeks. And my school were fine with it, but even then, like, every time I was in school, I would always want to like leave early, because of course if I had missed so many days that I couldn't, like, you know, miss a full day, I would have to like strategically leave early or something like that, or like try and make myself sick so I can get out and, like, you know. But after that year, it was the determining factor, because I went to Carlingford with them, and I just still felt alienated, still felt kind of like nobody was really including me, or really kind of, and I was fighting with people. I was kind of just not a happy person, and I was like, right, I can't with this anymore. Like, during the end of summer, I was like, I am not going back to that school. To my, like, parents, like, I need to move, you know. And then my a close family friend recommended this other school, Volunteer, and they were saying that it's like, it's very diverse, like, there's a lot of races, and there's, you know, like, a good few gay people. Like, in my old school, I was like one out of like 2, maybe 3 even, but I was, of course, the most flamboyant, so I was the most obvious one there. But now in my new school, like, it's just nobody cares, and like, no, everybody just goes about their own business, and sometimes that's better than being in a negative environment, and I just need a change. And now, like, you know, I went from like failing and cheating and then still failing in my old school till now in my new school. I've gotten like 350 points in my last exam, and being a special needs person
it's amazing,
not academic, that is good for me, I think, you know. He doesn't need to go by a point system anyways in the future, but it's good to have. And
so you're finally at a place where you feel like maybe do you feel you found your tribe?
Oh yeah, like, I definitely need to get back in touch with my tribe and stuff, because a lot of life just gets in the way, of course. But oh, definitely. I think like loads of people are just more. I'm around a more positive vibe, and I'm in a better headspace now than I was then. In terms of school and stuff, and yeah, it's so much easier, and my school encourages me and motivates me now.
Celebrates you, yeah.
Celebrates me, yeah. And they just let me get on with it,
And what advice would you give to a young person, younger than yourself, or any person in this sort of scenario? What advice would you give them?
Probably just to find your calling, find your passion, and always don't be it, dream it, and don't dream it.
Yeah, I was like, that's
sorry,
wrong.
special needs, mixed up my words. Oh god, that really killed the moment. But yeah, to be it, and to really kind of just know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and know that hurt people, and that it does really get better, and you just have to kind of persevere, because there's always bad weather always passes, and that's kind of what kept me going, I suppose.
And Josh, what inspires you?
People like women who are, strong, who are independent, of course drag queens, gay people, even just like, people who just don't care about what other people think. I think RuPaul, of course, is a huge inspiration to me, because during like my very tough times and stuff, she kind of had said the things that I need to hear, like even in her interviews and stuff, and that kind of just got me going. It just kept my head up and stuff.
And you're going into your final year of secondary education,
yeah,
and so you have your leaving cert coming up. So what's going to happen to Josh next year? What's your dream?
Well, I think I'm just gonna, get more qualifications in like maybe nails, maybe lashes and stuff like that, and maybe take a sewing class, like get back into dancing and singing, because like I still have very big dreams of becoming an entertainer, like whether it's on stage or whether it's on TV, like, and it will happen. I think once I finish school, I won't be having anything to hold me back anymore.
And what sort of entertainer would you like to be? An actor, a drag? Would you be interested
in all?
Yeah.
The jack of all trades. Like I could, I sing, I act, I dance, as a man or a woman or both, and that's what I want to do. And I think my style is, I think my style is so unique that like it's very represented. Yeah. Represented. I can't really speak English now, but with like the likes of Grace Jones and Annie Lennox, and I want to be like that kind of attitude and that kind of style, and I think the world's kind of ready for me now at this stage.
Drag Race UK season 2, maybe?
Oh, well, maybe if they can afford me.
And what musicians inspire you? What other artists inspire you?
Oh, like, of course, Grace Jones, Pink, RuPaul, I mean, Beyonce, I mean, like, kind of, I have to say Beyonce, and there's so, like, David Bowie, like, I could go on, like, any musician that's just free-spirited and just, kind of just free-spirited, I suppose,
And what is it like being now a young, out, celebrating gay man in Ireland today?
Oh, it's, I feel like it's a very good icebreaker. And I feel like even though it's kind of hard to, like, maybe, like, with dating and stuff like that, but I think, like, I have to, like, in Drag Race they tell you to always, like, love yourself before you love anybody else, and I'm slowly learning to do that, slowly but and surely. Like, of course I still get these thoughts and still get these, like, like anxieties of my past and stuff and of what people said, but at the end of the day, like, I'm still gonna keep going, and I'm still gonna, aim for my dreams and touch the stars.
And who inspires you, Josh? Who's one of your greatest inspirations?
Definitely my grandmother, I think, because she's been through a whole lot, and she's always just been this strong woman, and she's just so, like, she'll give you the bra off her back if if you need it. And I want to be like that, and she's also like a woman who carries herself with dignity, and like has people just really respect her, and I want to be like that. I don't want to be a woman, but I want to be like that.
And do you ever have situations where people come up and say, are you a man, are you a woman, what's going on?
Oh, all the time. I mean, like, I have like people text me on Facebook, like, and then we start talking, and then they're like, wait, are you a man or a woman? I'm like, well, does the name Joshua not give it away? But yeah, I get that all the time. It's like, especially like on the internet and stuff like that. But it's usually just like people ask me, well, do you want to be trans or anything? And I'm not fully, like, I don't want to change my gender, because I'm quite happy with being a boy, but I don't really believe in genders or labels or boxes. Like, it's never like left or right. I think like there's always something in between,
And what's your view on, gender norms today?
Well, I think, sometimes it's very difficult to like fall into these kind of categories and these kind of like stereotypes, and think the mainstream way of thinking, but you just have to keep pulling yourself out of it and like have a more open mind when it comes to that type of stuff. I try to create my own opinions and structure my own thoughts rather than have other people try and structure them.
And how do we kill toxic masculinity?
I don't know, like like protests, like chain ourselves to like gates or something. I don't know. I think just make it okay, and just look at people like me, like, normally, and just, if people like are questioning their sexuality, or if people are like asking just for help or something, like, don't be like, trying to get up all in their business or trying to label them straight away. Like,
or if a guy, even something as simple as dancing, like, I don't know if you saw earlier today, there was a Good Morning America host laughed at Prince George of England, the future king of England, because he loves ballet, and on live TV, her and the whole audience are laughing at the idea of this little boy doing ballet. I
think that's like
horrific.
So like old age, like Victorian times.
I hope she should get fired.
Literally, I hope that child goes on to like nationals of ballet and stuff like that.
Well, he'll be the king of England either way. So,
hey, like, I don't think he's getting upset. He's not getting he is getting the last laugh, I suppose.
But it's weird how people associate certain activities and colours with gender. Like, why is it quote unquote girly to dance and manly to play football? Like, why can't we just do whatever we want to do, whatever it calls us?
I totally agree. Like, I think it's because like society has just been feeding it into our brains, and like that, girls like pink and boys like blue and stuff. But there's a new generation coming about now, and there's a new age, and it's time that we just break the rules and stuff.
And Josh, what makes you a man?
Well, I do have to say it takes a whole lot of man to be either feminine or a woman. But I think what makes me a man is like my perseverance, and my, not even like my like physical strength, but like my inner strength, really, because like I've been through so many experiences that have made me a way better person, you know, and have made me think more and like made me kind of realize certain things and smell the roses and stuff. And yeah, I think that's what being a man is. I think I'm past the childhood and being a boy. Like, I think I've finally become a young man at times, sometimes during the week.
And Josh, is there any book you've read or person you've listened to, maybe an audiobook or a podcast, that continues to motivate you?
Well, Lessons with Louis. Well, I think I don't really know. Like, definitely Drag Race. Really, I'm not really. I don't listen to books because I struggle with like concentration and stuff like that, I think, and you know, I'm always wanting to do stuff, and like with podcasts, I've only recently started to get into them, you know, because I think like it's a very kind of, you know, new current thing. Like, I think with being like mature, like than my actual age, I kind of like am more slow with these types of things, but yeah, I'm slowly catching up.
And what brings you happiness, Josh?
Well, food. Not gonna lie. And of course makeup and stuff like that. I feel more kind of myself with my makeup on and my outfits, and I think being around folks like you from MPAS, you know, my friends the people who love me, you know what I mean? That's what makes me happy, and my dreams especially, that's what makes me happy, and that's what has kept me going for all these years.
And Josh, we're coming to the end of the episode. Is there anything I forgot to ask you or you didn't get a chance to mention that you'd like to mention now?
Well, my number's 085. No, well, I don't really know. Like, I'm kind of just, I don't know. Like, I'm an open book, really. Like, I feel like you could ask me like anything, you know. But yeah, the last thing I have to say, like, to anybody who's listening to this or anybody who's having a hard time, like, just please, don't focus on what society's telling you or what, you know, your family may be, like, you know, telling you if they don't accept you. I wouldn't know what it's like to have a family that doesn't accept you. That must be very difficult. But you know that there's people out there like you, and if you feel like you're alone, or that you're not loved or anything, like, know that I love you, even though I don't know you. I still want you to know that there is somebody out there who is thinking about folks like you.
That's beautiful. And Josh, where can people find you? What's your socials?
Well, you can find me on Instagram as the only Joshua Michael Ford, genitalia is a side name, and on Facebook as Joshua Michael Ford, and yeah, that's really all the socials I'm on, because I keep on forgetting my Twitter password and stuff like that, but yeah, follow me on Instagram.
Well, Josh, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today and being so open and vulnerable with everyone, and yeah.
Thank you for letting me rave and rant on.
No, well, it's been a beautiful, inspiring story, and thanks so much for listening, guys. I hope you all have a great week. Thanks so much to Josh for giving us his time today, and if you want to find him on Instagram, it's at the only Joshua Michael Ford, and I'll link it in the show notes below. And guys, thanks so much for listening. It's so great to be able to share these amazing stories with you. Well, I think they're amazing, and as always, if you have any feedback, please let me know. Email me louismaxwellwork@gmail.com or slide into my Instagram DMs. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it's at louismax as well. And as always, if you like the show, share it with someone you think might like it. Thanks so much, and have an absolutely amazing week.